My name is Damion Taylor, and this is my story. This is really awkward. It's like a dark room with one light. So my story. I was like never really a religious guy. I went to church. It's kind of boring. Fell asleep a lot. We'd attend services every now and again, but it never meant much. It was just an occasional thing. Breakfast afterwards. It was fun. Life was just normal. It wasn't until 4th grade when a friend moved to town that things actually really started to change. He really is big into skateboarding, and I knew some stuff about skating, so we kind of hit it off. About a year later, we were hanging out. We were just, getting into some deep conversation. And out of nowhere, he just randomly asked me if I knew Jesus. I was just like, I don't know. I didn't know much about it, and I was just kind of like, no. I mean, he never really elaborated much. He kind of told me some basics. I was just like. That following summer, we went up to EVC. The pastor he was talking on salvation. He asked if to come to the front of the room if never been saved and we wanted to be. And I didn't know a lot about Christianity at this time. Something in me told me that I needed to get up and go to the front. I did, and it was a cool feeling. And it lasted while I was at camp pretty much, but didn't mean a whole lot though afterwards. Camp wore off once I got back into the real life setting. It occurred to me that these things don't fit, The church world is like over here and life's over here, and they didn't work together. Just the way people act, the way they look at things, the way the world views like alcohol, drugs. All these things were completely on the opposite side. The following year, same thing happened, kind of the back and forth thing. Camp was a really strong point. Kind of fell apart again after I got back. This was just a continual thing for a couple of years. Just back and forth, camp, Christian life, home, just life. I was kind of living a double life, summers I'd hit up a church camp with my friend, and it was like a cool time. Time completely devoted to Christ. But once you got back, those things faded off pretty quickly. And after that, things just kind of fell back down to the way they were. I just lived my life like everybody else did. That went on for a couple of years. It wasn't too long ago that I started seriously getting involved with the church. I started playing on the musical team that did worship, and that got me involved with my musical abilities. It was something I could do, and it was a chance, it was an opportunity to get out. That was fun. I got a lot of work on my musical talents, but it didn't mean much beyond that. I didn't think about anything else besides myself. My selfish desires, I was completely living right there, just in that spot. That's what felt right, that was what was cool, And it took me a while to realize that what I was doing wasn't actually about me. So it was this long, slow process to realize that what I was doing needed to affect somebody else. What I was doing needed to have an impact on other people, not just myself. It needed to be for God. I realized that I don't have everything figured out, but I know that what I'm doing now needs to affect how I'm going to live in the future. So I kind of viewed church and God and all of the above as just like something over here. You made importance of them when they needed to be. But the changing point was when I finally realized that God was here, God was now. He was a part of everything. So people would always tell me, Jesus died for you and stuff. But I didn't really get what that meant. It didn't mean anything. I mean, I've never met him personally, I guess. But I realized that Jesus died for me, like, personally, just as he died for you. Like, I was such, like, an imperfect person, and he died to save my sins, to make all my wrongdoings just pretty much disappeared, make it to where I was forgiven. That's such a hard thing to grasp, but really he died as if you were like the only one here. Like, it's such an amazing feeling to realize that he cared for you so much that he'd die for you. I mean, really, like, who else would do that?